Hi,
Hello.
welcome back to Scribbles Reactions. I'm Vera.
I'm Blackie.
And today we are watching Solo Leveling.
Yes.
We met Jinwoo's dad,
Yeah.
and he's super strong, and he defeated Honk.
When you're mentioning now that, by the way, when I was editing, I was hearing the voices.
The voices?
Voice acting.
Okay.
Do you know who Jinwoo's dad is, voice actor? Gin. And from Hunter x Hunter. Jin, yeah.
Oh,
Gon's dad.
he's always someone's dad.
And Huang. Do you know who is that voice actor?
No.
Sakuna.
Sukuna.
Yeah, I was looking.
Yeah, Sukuna. I mean, I think I didn't mention. I think it sounded familiar.
Actually, maybe I'm not
I think
sure.
you mentioned, yeah. That
Sukuna and... So we
it
had an
sounded
epic
familiar
battle between Sukuna
and Gon's dad.
and Jin. Yeah, I was like,
Okay,
I'm listening
that's
and like
amazing.
somehow,
That's amazing.
I'm somehow hearing the voice and like, wait, is that Sukuna? Wait, is that Jin?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were
But
like, yeah.
okay, we're going to see now, like back to Soul Leveling. Yeah, we are going to see now what's going to happen, because my guess is that sooner or later that his dad and Jinwoo are going to meet. So what's going to happen then? And also, like, Jinwoo, he managed to acquire 2 ingredients. Then there's just like 1 more left. So yeah, that's also going to see if like when he gets those ingredients, what's going to happen. Is his mom going to be cured or not?
Yeah, we need to see also what was that between Sung Senior and what he was talking about with Huang about there is more than just dungeons, monsters and everything, and some big calamity coming. And what we talked about that I'm looking maybe that's Jinwoo, but I'm not sure, but we shall see. It'll be interesting to see if that's it and he would have to fight his own son or something.
Imagine,
because
imagine
he knows
that
something and
twist.
he's not saying anything.
Yeah, he knows something. I mean, he knows a lot, and because he spent like, what, 10 years, and
Exactly, yeah.
like it happened in 10 years.
Yeah, I'm interested.
So
What happened to him in those 10 years?
especially like what if you know, like the time is slower here and slower there, and it's faster here. So 10 years here would mean how many years there, right?
Yeah, when they were like with ice cells, what was that like? They were there 1 week, 2 weeks, and in the
Here
real world
is
was like
just
1
a
hour,
couple
2
of
hours or
Yeah,
something.
so 10 years here means he had a lot of
He
years
was
there.
1,000 years there? What? But how is he getting? Is he getting then older? Is he aging in that world normally, or is he stopped aging then?
I mean, he's
I don't know
obviously
that,
aging maybe according to this world, because he would have
To the original world.
Yeah, because if he would have been then a lot older, I think.
he would die, right?
yeah,
10 years
yeah.
here in the real world, that then is like 1,000 years maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. I can't do the quick math now.
I cannot also.
Yeah, but okay, let's jump into see what's going to happen now. But before we start, guys, consider joining our Patreon for early access, because there we are like a month ahead of our YouTube schedule, and the link to Patreon is in the description
Below. Let's go.
Let's go.
命の浸水の素材のうち2つまでが揃った。残るはあと1つ。浄化された悪魔王の血のみ。確実に手に入れるためにも万全を期したい。悪魔の城に行ったおかげでかなりレベルが上がった。だが公的な俺のランクはいい
The shadow.
これ以上レベルを上げ
Yeah.
The shadow.
Looks like you.
操作することすらできない。くだらない演技はもうやめよう。どうせ隠し通せるものでもない。ハンターランクの最新さを受ける。
Oh.
Okay.
測定といっても簡単なものらしいですから。
俺は何としてもハンターランクを取って稼いで、その金で別れた妻と娘と一緒に。
見てください。D 級以上の判定が出れば、あそこにいるギルドのスカウトマンたちが
But
声
if
を
not-
かけてくれます。
If you're in rank, good luck.
E 級じゃなければ食べていけますよ。
Oh my god, hey, look at E ranks like they're really
じゃなければ。
Yeah.
the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
はい。
That's so BS.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's going to break now.
最審査ですね。
はい
Black crystal. What the heck is that even? Imagine he's still E rank.
あれ
Imagine.
エラ
Did he break
ー
it?
もう一度
No way.
はい
It won't even let him
おかしいな。
reassess.
おいどうした？
ほらこんな感じで。主任
He's
これは
above.
機械の不具合じゃない。測定不能を示してるんだ。
Can be assessed. He cannot read it?
どういう。
彼の魔力量がこの機器の測定上限を超えているということだ。
Damn.
それじゃあ
そうだ。この人はこの国で10人
10th
目の
person ever in the
S
country.
級だ。
To be S rank. So that is how they're giving the S ranks? Oh, that is why they say they cannot control them, or they really, when they fight, they can destroy the whole planet or something.
But wait
That
a
is why they
minute.
cannot assess how strong they are. You know, maybe you can assess, okay, this guy is 2 nuclear bombs strong. you know?
I get that, yes.
I'm
So
not sure,
basically,
yeah.
they could be anything. They could be any strong above A ranks. I get that, but I'm surprised that this girl wasn't aware of how this works. If you like, no one told her, okay, if there's an S rank, this is what's going to happen.
I mean, she
you know?
probably knew, she didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, is this like happening for the first time? But actually, so what? He's now on.
I mean, you see, it's so happening so little, so only 10 times this happened. Let's say potentially there is 11th guy, he's dead.
Okay, I don't know.
She's also
Yeah,
above S.
I don't know why I was under impression that all S ranks are equally strong, but this actually means that one S rank can be stronger or weaker than the other S ranks. So it's not that they're equal.
But what's that mean? Wait, actually. Does that mean that all those 10 guys have a system maybe and they're all keeping quiet?
What do you mean?
Everybody saw like that Huang guy, let's say his dad also have the
Maybe,
system, and that
maybe.
is how they're leveling up.
Maybe.
And only 10 guys found that secret room or something and made
You
him,
know, I mean, I think we mentioned also like before that maybe like about what about his dad and everything in the system. But then again, I was like, but then this anime is called solo leveling, which would then imply that Jin was the only one who's leveling.
I mean, we are following his story, and that is why maybe it's
so
like
maybe it's-
he solo leveled, so also his dad also solo leveled, right? He was 10 years in that dungeon or whatever, that world. Let's see, who knows, yeah.
から例の羽
It will be interesting to see.
マジかよそう判定って実在したのか初めて見たぞ当たり前
Oh my god, he's going to have a lot
回し
of
かなかったんだから。
eyes on him now.
初めて見たぞ当たり前だ。これまで本当の
Nine hunters like that before,
あ
yeah.
の人に再度お越しいただけますでしょうか。
人目の S 級わかりましたあの人が火炎系魔法の
Bionicle fire
最終
magic.
兵器と呼ばれるハンター俺のあだ名の大元なるほ
Counterpart.
ど騒ぎのわけはこれかはじめましてハンタースギルドの代表チェ・ジョンインと申しま
He's
す
just going to bypass him.
入るギルドはもう決まっていま
He's
すか
just, is he?
もしよろしければこの後少しお時間を
Yeah, he is.
Boy.
Just like that.
代表が断られた。
どうやら僕はうぬぼれていたようだ
ソンハンター彼は本当に
音もなく消えてしまいましたね
暗殺系でしょうか
He even came in.
社長。
そういうことですか見つけた彼がレッドゲートを攻略した部外者
ジョイン
He is even passing by him.
より
They're like hyenas now. Everyone trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but somehow you see how here I see the pattern. The moment they put a glance on him, somehow it looks like they know. Like they know that maybe
He's powerful.
not only that, but maybe because of the
Player.
system, like they know, like they also have system. Maybe somehow it looks like that to me because, like you know, this guy also. I don't remember his name, the S rank guy. When Jinbu walked outside the red gate and he stopped him. And then he saw him and he was like, oh, my apologies and everything. So I don't know, maybe. Chairman.
はじめまして。ハンター協会会長のゴンヒと申します。
レスキュ
ー判定おめでとうございます。
え？
担当直入に言いましょう。ぜひとも我々の仲間になっていただきたい。あなたには協会の中でも重要なポストを用意しましょう。
Everything's yours. Just join.
今やこの国を支えているのは政府ではなく、モンスターから国民を守るハンターです。そしてその中心にいるのが5大ギルド。現在は5匹の恐竜がかろうじてバランスを保っている状態です。しかしあなたがいずれかに所属すれば、そのバランスは大きく崩れる。
So that is why they're
協会は
fixated.
これらを制御する6つ目の勢力として、この国になくてはならないのです。
だから教会に。
あなたにはそれだけの力がある。そしていずれはいかがですか。
おそらく政府やマスコミの他にもゴー会長の力が及ばないところは存在しない。それにハンターとしてもすごい。この国初の
So he's the first
S
S-rank.
圧倒的な
rank.
魔力量と80を過ぎたとは思えない体格。現役を知り
Interesting.
死ぬ気でレベルを上げてきた俺とほぼ同水準だ。
Even footing.
俺は戦いたいんです。
Oh, wait.
モンスターと戦いたいという。
No, against you.
はい。俺のいるべき場所はダンジョンだと思うんです。
So maybe against him.
なんということだ。彼の目に嘘はない。
Okay.
このような感覚は何年ぶりだろうか。
I want to fight him.
私の心臓はまだこのような音が出せたのだな。
Who is this?
Okay.
いや、実際若ければこのような若者と肩を並べて。わかりました。無理強いはできません。
歯医者に何の用ですか、副局長。君に直接聞きたいことがあってね。イルファンソンという男、彼は本当にモンスターなのか。あれが人間だと思いますか。
そこら。
間違いなくあれはモンスターです。わかった。君は治療に専念したまえ。退院後は一度管理局へ顔を出すよ。あの男は管理局が追っている。しかし、君を倒すほどの男を捕らえられるか。
Yeah. Yeah, good luck with that.
He's probably already home. Soon we'll see him now.
絶対に俺の家族に近づくな。お前のために
Oh.
死んでも俺の目から逃れられない。
Do you hear the voice? Main scan.
死んでも逃げられない。この俺を脅しているつもりか。どこへ向かうか分かっている。装備が必要だ。
Dude, he's going to keep trying.
ひねり潰すためのアーティファクトが。
Oh.
貪欲の玉は譲渡可能。売ることはできそうだ。世に出回ってる最上級装備は20から 30% の上昇率だが、この玉は魔法ダメージが2倍と破格。高値で売れるはずだ。問題は E 級の俺がこれを持ってることだよな。絶対に出どころを下げられる。募集してるとこあるじゃん。
Any rank is But here, any rank is acceptable as long as you're physically fit.
So that is some scam.
Mining team personal bond.
E 級ですって。
はい。
こういう仕事は
初めてです。
ああ、戦闘系ですか。
Hey, isn't he now like S rank? What the heck? Why is he E rank again?
Because he wasn't formally reassessed yet.
Ah, okay, okay.
肩の力を抜いて頑張りましょう。
はい。
下がってください。
Oh, he's there.
好きではありません。
He's just beep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well done.
So it looks so easy for him. Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how they became this strong. Like, Is it because of the system also?
お願いします。
But they have to protect him.
Second in command.
俺が
And she's S rank, right?
副ギルドマスターにして
Oh.
国内10人目の S 級ハンター舞姫茶平
Dancer.
凄まじい。あれほどのオーラを放つ人はこの世に何人いるだろうか。
何かしら今の強い
Oh,
Damn,
yeah.
ゴー会長がお見えになったのかと思ったけど
Chairman Go was
嘘み
around.
たいにそ
Oh.
の気配も消えちゃった。
このダンジョンの中に流れている魔力の波
Mm.
動、これが A 級ダンジョンのボスが放つ魔力か。
So what they didn't...
悪魔の城のボルカンやメトゥスの上を行くモンスター
Oh.
と試したくない。
Oh,
実際の A 級ボスの強さはどん
Okay.
なもの
So this.
聞いたか、今日入った新入り E 級らしい。E 級マジか。新日長何かやってんだ。
E 級は本当どこに行ってもこういう扱い。
yeah.
まあどうせな。
I would rather him stay E rank.
Actually true.
You know? I would really love for him to... Yeah.
続く。
よし、昼休憩だ。全員飯食いに行くぞ。孫さん、行かないんですか？
I'm going to keep
ここで
going.
終わらせたいんで。
わかりました。あまり奥まで行き過ぎないでくださいね。
He will. Don't worry. He
She's going to
will.
go.
Yeah.
to boss.
You go have your lunch. I'm going to go fight.
やっと一人になれた。
Yeah.
このチャンスを
So
逃
excited.
すわけにはいかない。約1時間う
He
ち
was smiling the whole time.
少しだけ見てこよう。
Take a peek.
Yeah, no, he'll just need a couple of minutes probably.
ここがボス部屋か。ボスを倒してはいけないという理性は残っ
But
倒せば
But the
ゲートが
urge.
起きてしまう。ハンターズに莫大な損害が出ること。
he doesn't care. He just wants to fight.
それでもちょっとつついて
Dude, he's really becoming now like greedy. Oh boy.
I wouldn't say greedy, more like impatient.
Greedy.
もう一度聞きます。そこで何をしているんですか？
Ooh, okay.
Don't. Ah, yeah. Okay,
Of
they're going
course.
to fight now.
Yeah.
Imagine he goes par in par with her or
Yeah.
something and fighting. Yeah.
Oh boy. Is he in trouble?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's I'm so curious about other S ranks and now this girl and to see what's their deal, you know.
I mean, now she saw him, so
She saw him.
now
yeah,
she can
yeah.
determine how strong he is. That's it.
Yeah, and that he was a presence that she sensed before. So, but why did she come back? That's the thing. Like they all went on a break, so why would she return?
To check on things, maybe, you know.
I
They
don't
have
know.
to maybe check on the guys who are mining there just to be safe, to see if they are safe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, you know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
And then she entered and maybe sensed from afar
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Because
Maybe,
you see how
maybe.
really from afar Jinwoo can sense
Yeah.
bosses and
So maybe that's they can also sense each other from that distance. You
that's what
know,
I'm
the
saying.
same
I don't know
way.
if they're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
using system, and is it also with par with that what happened with him and the I self, that king I self, and everything was like just about I self to say something and then it was reversed or something glitched.
Yeah.
They cannot say to each other
Yeah,
that
so
they have
they
systems, so
can't
they
know.
can never say that
Maybe,
they have
maybe.
systems.
I mean, we already talked about unless we see it happening on the screen, like
With
Jinwoo,
others,
yeah,
maybe
trying
also,
to talk
yeah.
or others to him, then
Not
we wouldn't
definitely
know.
no, yeah.
But let's say that's how you become an S rank, that you are all like a part of the system.
Exactly.
Then it would mean that there were like two situations that happened. Revaluation, which means that someone was already like sung a hunter, a rank, a certain rank, and then ranked up. Or when you go there and become S rank for the first time. So it would mean that someone who wasn't either reassessed before or wasn't a hunter before. Can someone who's not a hunter at all become a player? That's
Wasn't a hunter.
I mean, yeah. Can you? If,
No,
like,
I mean you
weren't
cannot go in the
hunter
dungeon. I mean they're not letting ordinary people go into dungeon.
I mean, yeah, but what if like that situation happens out of the gate in this world? Because like we know that monsters also like come in this world.
Yeah,
and
but
some situation happen. Like does
no,
the
but that's not about the situation. It's about
about
that
the location.
dungeon. I think what happened with Sung, the dungeon. You know, they found a secret dungeon that had that like sacrificial
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah, right.
You know, with
Right.
those statues that happen in first
Right.
episode. So I'm
So
not
it's
sure.
not like, okay, so it's not like the system sits everywhere for you to discover it. Okay.
Maybe it's really, really lucky to one in a million times you have a dungeon within a dungeon. You know, because that was basically dungeon within a dungeon.
I mean, it would explain like how in 10 years Sung is like the 10th one to become an S rank.
In 10 years?
Yeah.
Is it in 10 years?
I mean, I think, yeah, they said like 10 years that the monsters appeared 10 years before, and that's how they all started becoming hunters.
I'm not sure, yeah. We don't know how that Huang guy became, how Chairman became an S rank.
Yeah.
Did they just evaluate them, or they somehow solo leveled up, and then had... Oh, that is why maybe... I don't know. They're calling also that second awakening. And, you know, they maybe that deliberately put it like, okay, it's a second awakening.
But
in reality, only S rank get that second awakening, but it's...
That's the thing,
system.
like are all S ranks second awakenings?
We don't know. They need to
Let's
tell
say
us.
they're not, and let's say that it's about the system. So it would mean that someone who was never assessed somehow went to a dungeon and was able to be part of the system and then level up.
Look at this way,
How
because
did that then happen, you know?
look at that way, because they basically can be in that other world more weeks or more months, and it will be just few days into real world. It's possible. If they stay there and just leveling up, and then just enter out, and it's like, 3 days. And then they are assessed and they are S ranks. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But before that, they had to go into the dungeon as, I don't know, like Sung, a E rank. So I'm not sure.
Now that you say like them staying in a dungeon indefinitely, but every dungeon has a limit to the level of the monsters, and at some point they would run out of strong monsters. They would defeat all strong monsters, and then what? They wouldn't ever level up because there are no strong opponents for them to face. You know?
Not really, because if you defeat that boss, maybe with a loot box, and if you have a system within you, you definitely are going to get a key to go into another dungeon and another dungeon and another dungeon.
I mean, but not necessarily in that same place. So you would have
exactly.
to get out in real world, and then
Sung went into that dungeon with that Iris. Is it Iris or Iris?
Igris.
Yeah, Igris. Igris Knight, and then he went to that punishment world. You know, so he basically went into from that dungeon to, let's say, a punishment dungeon.
I mean, true, yeah, right. But after he dealt with the dungeon with Igris, he had to go back. So he couldn't stay in the dungeon infinitely because there weren't any monsters for him to deal with. So he wouldn't ever level up.
I mean, depends. Like if what we call it dungeon is just like a cave or
I keep imagining it as like separate places.
Because like that red gate wasn't a cave; it was a forest. So can you get from that forest and go
are they all connected
somewhere else, you know, into that world? So maybe that world is just a world and you can go wherever you want, and you can go into another place where a stronger opponent is.
Actually,
I think maybe
it's hard for me to imagine that world, because so far we are seeing it as separate locations.
Exactly.
But how does that all, like, if you're like imagining the whole dimension, how they all exist, like,
I think that's
in that dimension, you know, separately or somehow?
I think that's like just a dimension, and those portals are just like teleporting portals to get from our world to that specific dungeon.
But
so look at like it's parallel to original world.
But that would mean that they are not connected, but they are all just separated, but existing on the same plane.
Of course.
It's hard like for me visually to invent.
You know, so Sung can go from, let's say, I don't know, where this city is to Tokyo. Or
but imagine if these cities, there's nothing between them. That's the thing. It's like an empty space that you can cross.
I think they're just it's connected like a normal world.
I don't know.
And this is just a portal to put. Maybe system is making those portals. Who knows? I mean, we don't know nothing about that.
We don't know anything yet. Yeah, we just heard like bits and pieces, like how we got hunters all of a sudden, we got gates all of a sudden. Like, how did that happen and why? And we know nothing about the system and who's behind that. So
my theory was like some scientist made a oopsie and made portals or somehow tapped into that other dimension and everything break loose. But for hunters, when portals open, that's how the narrator explained, right?
They got abilities, some people.
Yeah.
But then, like, what's now the deal with the ants? And because they're that's
Don't
like
know nothing about
that's
it,
like
yeah,
now
sure.
they're also like pending plot line. Yeah, that's what
That
the
was
deal
their
is.
let's say maybe their first major threat, and they didn't know how to deal with it, and they lost that island. And still there is that portal, and monsters are getting out from that portal. So we need to see that more.
But okay, so let's say that Sung's now S rank. But as I said, I would really love, I love to hear how they're portraying it, and it's realistic, how he gets different treatment based on, here, he's an E rank, and they're like all, without anyone realizing that, you shouldn't treat him like based on whether he's an E rank or S rank, like just like those people there at assessment, like he's an S rank, and now all of a sudden, like he's like a superstar, like a god, So that's also sad, how they are treating him depending on his strength.
I mean, some people are like that. I would be like, even if you're E rank, you're still trying here, like all the time. Your life, as it is at your, like, you can lose your life, and like. And
actually,
still
I respect E ranks more because they're going against all the odds there. They're considered underdogs, and. And they're risking the most because they are not strong enough to deal with threats like rest of them, and yet they're brave and keep pushing and going there.
So actually, with his friend, his brother now, he needs to open a guild for only accepting E rank.
Exactly.
And they can get money, right? I mean, Sung is S rank. I would more like that because we saw how everybody now wants to get him, and we know now why everybody wants to get him, because the power will shift if one guild have more S ranks or something, So it would be nice to have a new guild and they're taking care of E ranks.
I would love
they can at least now then, have money, they can live normal life, they don't need to struggle to find money or something, If they have Sung who can help them all the time get from dungeons crystals and
that would actually be amazing. Idealistic and hard maybe to achieve, but
I'm looking
in this
because
kind
Sung
of world,
was like E rank, he knows how they're struggling also because he struggled.
I mean, but so far we haven't seen, like, he's not interested in anything by his mom and sisters, so far we hadn't seen him show interest in using his power for something good, but just
maybe that can be.
Maybe if let's say that he can help like his mom, maybe after that he can focus more on doing good things. And
you were wondering, so I'm looking, maybe that can be a potential plot after he heals.
Or maybe he'll lose his soul in the process, and then by then it will be his soul in the process. So by then it will be too late for him to, focus on anything other than getting more power.
I don't know that he will lose. Maybe he's really emotional, so he will just, if somebody hurts him or people around him, he will stop them by any means necessary.
Maybe.
But he will help others, maybe, I don't know. Look, no, I mean, I don't know. We see, because like now we see how he's, let's say, greedy, or he's like really.
No, as I said, I wouldn't say that it's greedy. It's more like he's impatient to just, to get what he needs to get to the step of healing his mom.
Yeah, but this wasn't like what he needs.
He needs power. This is like a stronger opponent than he faced in the dungeon with ingredients.
Yeah, but he entered this dungeon just to justify his orb that he got. It wasn't like, okay, I need to defeat somebody. I mean, this actually can be potential because that orb is powerful. He needs to defeat somebody powerful. So it would be like, hey, I defeated boss and I got this orb. But still, I don't know why are they... It's a bit messy here because like we had the first part where, like, let's say a lot of people now know that he's S rank. Potential. No, not potential. He's S rank, right? And now he's still like in disguise as E rank, trying to justify how he get the orb.
News don't travel that fast.
No, it's a bit strange. Maybe he doesn't want to them figuring out that he got from somewhere else, from that hell place. Let's say that's his hell place. That he got that orb from the hell place.
For me,
he said something like that here. So
for me, this looks like more like, as I said, like he's impatient in a sense that, like, let's say the formal reassessment that they are going to try to go with it in 3 days, but he wants to sell this today. So he needs a solution today, and he also needs an excuse today as for why he has that weapon. So that's why maybe he's rushing to do it all before the assessment. So
I mean, as I said, like he's greedy. He has a urge to assess that boss and everything. He's like in a Hunter x Hunter also, you know, how they're
I mean, it goes to his ego.
Yeah, like they want to, you know, to justify what they're doing, like to justify their own existence, you know, why they're hunting, you know, like hunters, you know, like hunters, they're like just wants to find something new, like how Ging was with everything, discovering stuff. And I'm looking at also this smile here, you know, because we saw also Chairman when he was talking to him and his heart is trembling.
It reminds me a lot of Hunter and always like how they are there and that thrill of the hunt.
Exactly. They just want a new thrill.
Of the hunt. Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. Yeah, they're doing a bit of like one episode is just more like world building, then another episode is action. So
I'm still waiting for that. I'm waiting for him to arrive.
I'm looking more here now. Maybe he will fight her, this girl here. It will be interesting to see S rank against S rank. So.
It will be. I hope they won't destroy the whole world.
We should see.
We'll see, yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. And see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.